Okay, so if you'd like to join me in welcoming Mark to the front to give his C4 speech, Finding the Nemo.
It felt strange the first time, but new experiences do. The mask, the awkward gear, a bit heavy. I eased myself into the water and my face slipped beneath the surface. I inhaled. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and of course, very welcome guests. The purpose of my speech is to persuade you to make a New Year's resolution to try something new, something that tests and challenges you. I will do this by describing, in case you haven't already guessed, my scuba diving experiences. The air came with a reassuring hiss, and I was effortlessly breathing underwater. In a moment, I forgot the mask was there. The equipment transformed from awkward and heavy to light and agile. With that first underwater breath, the door to a whole new world had opened. Challenge is the word that describes what attracted me to scuba diving. I like to look fear in the eye and test my will to overcome it. As an engineer, I was beguiled by the breathing equipment, hoses, gauges, bottles and fins. Taking a week off work, I learned to dive in the UK, suffering as the icy waters of the Atlantic turned my hands blue. Researching sea temperatures, a trip to the warmer climes of Egypt was booked. The thing about the unknown is it can make your emotions yo-yo. But this brings interest and excitement. In my case, one moment I was lounging aboard a luxury yacht. The next moment I was as serious as a gravestone, checking my buddy's equipment, before finally a carefree plunge into the warm waters of the Red Sea. As I reached up to the anchor line to pull myself down, I was overcome by feelings from nowhere. The visibility made me feel like I was flying. This was way beyond testing removal of my mask underwater. Composing myself amidst the rush of air bubbles that showed my weakness only too well, I continued my descent, grateful for my buddy's patience. Beneath me wasn't a sunken ship with hidden treasures, but the reward for overcoming my fear was a visual feast of majestic rays, cunning barracuda hiding behind a single line, venomous sea snakes concertinaing as on land, and a timid octopus. Finally, I was able to hover, watching clownfish, more commonly known as Nemo, darting between the swaying arms of their adopted anemone. Continuing around the reef, the current went against me and physical strength was required to head back. Clambering aboard the boat, I grappled with the ladder as it rocked back and forth. But once safely aboard, everyone excitedly discussed their experiences, compressed into the last hour. As a nature lover, it didn't take long to convince me that I'd chosen the right experience. No other environment approaches the abundance, diversity and vibrancy of a pristine coral reef. Some amazing facts that I discovered about even the basic creatures I spied upon. We all know the octopus has an excellent sense of touch, but did you know that its suction cups are equipped so that it can taste what it is touching? Or that the clownfish is the only species of fish that can avoid the potent poison of the anemone whose arms it lives within. Both of these are a reminder that nature's imagination far exceeds that of our own. Looking to the future, scuba will mean me rising to new challenges. I've already discovered that it's one of those activities that can deliver adrenaline or peace and serenity. You can take on new dares which require training, focus and planning, searching for and recovering lost objects, descending to new depths, or exploring your favourite dive site after sunset. Alternatively, you can drift along in some of the world's most beautiful and tranquil locations. But let's reflect for a moment. The purpose of my speech is not to persuade you to dive. No, the purpose of my speech is to persuade you to try new experiences that test and challenge you. Until you try them, you will never know what they are really like or how they will change you. So, as you start your new year, I commend you. Don't make boring resolutions like giving up smoking, eating less. Instead, resolve to try a new experience and find your Nemo. Mr. Toastmaster.